This is the last video for graphing. This is graphing from standard form, and it should go along with a notes paper that you received. If you're at home, you didn't get the notes paper, you can just use regular paper. The most important part here is the algebra. Okay, so we learned how to graph in standard or in slope-intercept form. Now we have a form that is not as nice, and so we want to be able to put this into slope-intercept form. So all we're going to do is change the form. So to do that, we're going to solve for y. And the way you solve for y is you get y by itself. So you move the x term, and these are not like terms. So when you combine on the right side, there's nothing to combine. You're just bringing down both things. It's actually easier than solving. And then we divide everything by the coefficient in front of the y. So we get y negative 2/5 plus 4. So reviewing slope-intercept form, you make a point on the y-intercept, which is 4, and then the slope is negative 2/5. So down 2 to the right 5. Nice negative, just to make sure you know that's skiing downhill. So we can convert from standard form into slope-intercept form. Okay, so this one, again, also in standard form. I'm going to put a 1 in front of the x. And so just to remember that there's a number there and it's not some kind of weird made up thing. So I'm going to add 1x to both sides to get y by itself. Again, I put the 1 there. You're going to see y in a second. Divide everything by 2. So first step, move the x. Second step, divide by what's in front of the y. Generally, that's going to get you through most of these problems. So I have 1/2 x plus 2. So there's my y-intercept. I make a point there. Slope is positive 1/2. So I'm going to go up 1 to the right 2. Up positive. If you're skiing, you're going up the hill with your mullet. X plus y equals 3. I'm going to make this 1x and a 1y. Just remember that there's numbers there. So I'm going to get y by itself by subtracting x. 1y equals negative 1x plus 3. Dividing by 1 doesn't change anything. Now here is the part that you got to be careful of. We need to write our slope as a fraction. So I'm going to write that as negative 1 over 1. If it's just a constant or an integer, you can write it as a fraction. So make a point at the y-intercept, which is 3. And the slope is down 1 to the right 1. Make it a few more times. Nice, negative. You're skiing down that hill. That's negative, matches up. You're starting to see a pattern here, hopefully. 3x minus 4y, subtract the 3x, subtract the 3x. Divide everything by negative 4. You notice I'm writing the negative 4 under every one of the numbers so that we don't lose a negative somewhere or lose that 4. Negative 3 over negative 4 is just 3/4. 4 over negative 4, negative 1. Make my point at negative 1 for the y-intercept. Slope up 3 to the right 4. Okay, now we're getting into some special case. So remember, if you're solving for y, it's in slope-intercept form, it's ready to go. Well, this is solved for y. So I have y equals mx plus b. There's my b. That means my slope is 0. That's m. That's why there's nothing there. That's why that's y equals negative 1. That's a special case horizontal line, 0 slope, and it goes through the point y equals -1. So if you make a point at y equals -1 and draw a line through it, that helps you remember maybe that's a horizontal line. So if it would have been y equals -7 or -6, it would have been down here. So any horizontal line, that's y equals 1, y equals 2, y equals 3. And so we're trying to solve for y here. In this one, we realize there's no y at all. So I'm just going to solve for x because what's the next best thing? And we get x equals 2. And so just like y equals are all the horizontal lines, the x equals are all vertical lines. The way you can remember that, make a point at x equals 2, and then draw your line through it. Everywhere on this line, you listed all these coordinates. This is 2, 3. This is 2, 4. This is 2, 5. All of these have an x coordinate of 2, just like all the y coordinates were the same on the horizontal ones. So at this point now, you know how to find slope when you're given 2 points, how to find slope when you're given a graph, when you're given an equation, either form, or a table. And then also to graph when you're given intercepts. You could do it from a table, slope intercept form, and standard form. Obviously, if you know how to use these two, that helps you back here. Okay, so that's kind of our slope and linear equations combination. Bye.